Oh, you who believe, give charity for the pleasure of Allah, the pleasure of Allah. Oh, you who believe, read the Quran every night of Ramadan, night of Ramadan.
Ramadan Mubarak, and welcome to Ramadan Reminders. This is Yusuf Estes, and today I wanted to talk about something very, very important to us, remind myself and all of us, the importance of understanding the meaning of La ilaha illallah. You know, the middle of Ramadan seems like it just came and went, and now we're approaching toward the end, and I don't want to forget the most important thing. One sentence that can make all the difference in the world. La ilaha illallah. This is the saying or kalima of the Muslim. And whoever says it with sincerity in their heart, then the fire is forbidden on them. Think about that. This is a great thing. I know one time we had an article on our website. It was called The 9 Points of the Shahada. Shahada means to bear witness. You know, when somebody enters Islam, they say the Shahada. Ashhadu, I bear witness. An la ilaha, that there's only one God. Illallah, to worship. Only Allah to worship. Now, literally it says no God except Allah. But the meaning is much deeper. That's why we give a translation of the meaning. La, no, ilaha, except Allah. But guess what? Those words by themselves don't indicate the sincerity. Sincerity. Another point about these 9 points of the Shahada is that you have to understand the meaning of it. To understand that this means you're not going to set up any other gods along with Allah. Well, you might say, well, I don't have any gods in my pocket. Well, maybe not. But how about if you're going to the newspaper every day to just check and see how your astrology is going? I want to see what the stars say about me today. Oh, I'm a Gemini, therefore it means, or I'm a Virgo, and it looks like in September, hold on. Whoever does something like this, they're committing shirk. A'udhu billah. They're making partners with Allah because they're thinking that these stars have some benefit for them or can at least predict what's going to happen to them. And that's not true, is it? As a matter of fact, during the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, there was a time when they had the Fajr Salah, that's the morning prayer, and right after the morning prayer, he was going to mention something to them. Now, during the night, it had rained. And look what he said to them. That somebody became a disbeliever and somebody became a believer. As for the one that became a disbeliever, he's the one that attributed this rain to such and such stars or constellations and said that that's where the rain came from. But as for the one that became the believer, this is the one who said that it's Allah who caused it to rain. So even something like that, like, you know, we talk about the weather, we talk about the influence that the moon has on the tides, but the real influence is from Allah, isn't it? Yeah. Even when we start talking about gravity, bottom line though, it comes back to Allah. If He wants something to go down or up, that's up to Him. Centrifugal force, but yet there's no force except Allah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. It's something that we have in our language, you know, when we're talking all the time to people about different things, we're allowed to say, well, you know, knock on wood, I hope nothing happens bad today. But even that kind of an expression, when you say knock on wood, you're attributing something as a partner to Allah. In fact, did you know where that really comes from? It comes from the tree worshippers of the time of the Druids in Europe, because they believed that the trees really could benefit them or cause damage to them. In one of our programs, we talked about that a little bit, that they used to go out and cut down a tree and put it on their back and walk into their house and take these limbs and they call them boughs, and put those around their house, thinking it would scare away the demons. But guess what? Even at the time of the prophet Jeremiah, according to the Old Testament, that was forbidden in the Bible. If you know somebody that knows about the Bible, tell them to go to the chapter of Jeremiah, chapter 10, and read what it says, talking to the believers. Don't go out in the forest. Don't cut down the tree. Don't bring it in. Decorate up your house with it, because it can't benefit you and it can't hurt you. And, you know, it's an amazing thing. There are Christians today who realize that, and they won't allow anybody to bring a tree in their house, especially at Christmas time. It's kind of sad when you see Muslims during Ramadan wanting to decorate up their house with all these Christmas tree lights, isn't it? Well, anyway, you know, the most important thing is to realize that when you start doing these things, it's opening a door to get away from La ilaha illallah. And Shaitan is waiting. That's his job, to come to you and I and try to take us to hell. This is what he wants. That's his job, and he's going to do his utmost to do that to us. So be careful. Be real careful, especially when you think, well, this is something small and the children like it. That's how Santa Claus got started too. Because they said, well, children like it. There was a child who wrote to a journalist one time about 100 or so years ago and asked, is there really a Santa Claus? And he started out the response in his editorial, yes, Virginia, there's a Santa Claus. And that's a famous article. You can go on Google on the internet and find out for yourself how Santa Claus really got started off of something where, oh, this is nice for the kids to believe in. But it's a total fabrication. I want to tell you about how important it is for us as Muslims to always tell the truth, even to children, and not give them these stories and baloney, because later when they grow up, they're not going to respect you for that. They'll find out what the truth is, and it's going to be a sad day. I think it's better for us, you and I, to focus on what Islam is teaching us, and let's teach that to our children and avoid getting into these things about, oh, you know, here's some lights and we'll string that up here. Let's light some candles and play with that nonsense. Let's go over here and, did you know that they made a teeny Quran that was only this big? You can't even read it unless you have a magnifying glass, and you get right over it, and I have to wear my glasses and a magnifying glass, and you can almost make out these little teeny letters in there, and they're not very accurate, but they wear it around their neck on a necklace, and they say, oh, this will bring me good luck, it'll protect me. But how is that? When it's only Allah that protects you. And if you want the Quran to protect you, what you do, you read it. You memorize it. You recite it. You let it become a part of your life, and you act on it. Then, and only then, will it be something that'll help you, because it becomes one of your reminders, not just in Ramadan, but every single day. Because if you're reading the Quran every morning and reciting it in your salah, what's going to happen, it becomes a part of your life and helps you to remember the most important lesson of all. La ilaha illallah. There isn't anyone to worship. There is nothing worthy of worship except Allah. And only Allah is the one we turn to with our worship. How's that for a reminder? Now, until tomorrow, go to our website. Don't forget the website, RamadanReminders.com. And then we'll see you tomorrow right here for more Ramadan Reminders.
Oh, you who believe, give charity for the pleasure of Allah. The pleasure of Allah. Oh, you who believe, read the Quran every night of Ramadan. Night of Ramadan.